Chapter 2. Your first Swift iOS application. This chapter covers starting new projects in Xcode, Xcode and Interface Builder basics, and understanding the basics of adaptive layouts. The range of tools available for iOS developers' use has evolved drastically in the short time the iOS platform has been open. But one thing has stayed the same and will continue to be a fact for any programmer's entire career. You can't do much unless you understand the tools you're working with. As an iOS developer, you have many tools at your disposal. These three are core to every project. Swift, the programming language you use to write your apps. Xcode, an IDE created by Apple that contains all the development tools you need to create an iOS application, and Cocoa Touch frameworks. These three tools are the primary focus of this book. In this chapter, you'll use all of these tools as you build your first iOS application using Swift and Xcode 6. If you haven't already, install Xcode from the Mac App Store. You'll use it now to create your project. Creating a project in Xcode. The Xcode project you construct in this chapter, a versatile to-do app, will serve as the basic building block for most of the lessons presented throughout this book. You'll take it much further than just adding and checking off to-dos. As you get into the advanced chapters in Part 3 of this book, you'll use the technologies you learn about to make interesting enhancements to the app. Before you do any of this, let's get Hello World onto the screen. This wouldn't be a programming book without doing that. Open Xcode, and the Welcome to Xcode window greets you. This window provides a launching point to continue work on an existing project, start a new playground, or create a new project. Click Create a new Xcode project, and Xcode's template chooser pops up over a new Xcode workspace. For this project, select iOS, Application, Single View Application, and then click Next. Choosing the project options is an important part of any project. Xcode can take care of many things for you if you give it the right initial settings, such as setting up your core data stack, as you'll learn about in Chapter 12. If you make a mistake, you can always generate a new project and copy over the parts you're missing. You're creating the Hello World app, but you'll reuse this project for your to-do app, so you should choose the settings you'll want for that app now, rather than creating two projects. The application's name will be To-Dos, to-do plus ooze. Enter this in the product name field. When you do, pay attention to the bundle identifier value. This is the unique name for your application in the iOS App Store and on your users' devices. For organization name, you can enter your name or the name of your company. Then, for organization identifier, use the reverse domain name notation of your organization's or your personal website, such as com.google. The organization identifier value forms the other part of your application's bundle identifier. This is the convention for these identifiers. They allow a versatile amount of uniqueness in identifiers between applications, even those created by the same company or person. Ensure that the Swift option is selected in the language drop-down. The Devices drop-down should have Universal selected so that you can take advantage of the new Universal Storyboards feature in Xcode 6. This feature allows you to create interfaces that adapt to several screen sizes on both iPhone and iPad devices. For now, leave the Core Data checkbox unchecked. We won't cover core data until later in the book. Continue to the next and last part of the project creation process, deciding where to save your project. Many developers save their projects in a developer folder in their home directory, but save it where you wish. Once you decide where to save your project, you're presented with your project workspace in Xcode. There's a lot on the screen, so let's take some time to look at each part.